Combined car and motorbike meeting.
Welcome to Sandown International Motor Racing Circuit for this 2+4 meeting here this afternoon on July 4th, of course, Independence Day, and we'll see the stars and stripes of Alan Moffat a little bit later on. As I said, a 2+4, motorcycles and cars.
Right, there's the wheel stand, very familiarly seen by Greg Hansford on 02. Hansford and Willing have at this stage John Woodley on machine number W as they take Shell Corner for the first time. This undoubtedly will break all previous lap records. The lap record held here is back as far as 1973. Ron Toombs held the record, and I'm sure, positive that this is going to be the day. There's Willing lifting the front wheel. Competitors seem to do this over in most of the other circuits. I don't believe you public have ever seen this in Victoria, to the extent that these machines are pulling something in excess of 110, 120 brake horsepower. And there's Warren Willing, the tall, fair-haired Queenslander, on the Team Kawasaki entry. 750, water-cooled, 3-cylinder, multi-disc brake systems on 4 and aft. And you'll note as they go around the corner that they are able to pull in very tight to the corner. Knees down. Each rider has an individual style of his own, and when they really get cracking, you'd almost swear that they had a third wheel, because the riders, some of the more diminutive ones, will hang that knee right down, as you'll notice, in the second spot. Woodley not to be outdone. A beautiful piece of passing move by Woodley, and Willing, of course, will have to watch his step there, because this John Woodley from New Zealand is a real flyer. Apart from the fact that Hansford at the moment seems to have them well covered. Here's the big 750. The Works Yamaha of Warren Willing really starting to make himself felt now. He has probably settled down, realising that Willing has done nowhere near the racing at Sandown that Greg Hansford and some of the other boys have done. It's a pretty tall order to take the very latest 750 Works machine and be able to compete at top performance. But mind you, it's a long circuit, and when you get 4 riders so closely bunched as they are at the moment, it's obvious that they're going to very soon, I think, start lapping. We have at the moment completed something like 7 laps completed and 13 to go. Here is the pressure of the day. This has been billed as probably the most outstanding race of the Victorian road race calendar, and here is the big challenge now from Yamaha to Kawasaki. Willing is out after Hansford, Greg Johnson and John Boot. I was going to say John Boot's another famous New Zealander. John Woodley on W. They're having their own individual tussle, and the traffic now, as they come down through the S's, is going to be something that will no doubt, beautiful style by Hansford getting through on the inside, is going to take its toll of these competitors with a lot of traffic ahead of them. Still a long way to go. Willing now really cracking the pace on the Yamaha dealer machine, is right on the back wheel of Greg Hansford, who no doubt will be getting some pretty frantic pit signals. There's a lovely shot on Shell Corner as the 02 of Greg Hansford. Willing is slipstreaming him now. Greg's got to do all the work. It's just like athletics. If you can get out and let someone tow you around the circuit, you've got the drop on them. Greg had to look over his right shoulder then, obviously aware of the fact that Willing is right on his back wheel. Warren Willing from New South Wales in the red and white. Greg Hansford from Queensland. Tremendous competitive motorcyclists. 2 of Australia's best, and Hansford now will really have to go. Lap records, I'm sure, at this stage would be lower than they were. We had a 1:15 early in the race, and I would suggest at the moment it'll be even better than that. There's Willing with the knee down. Perfect style and balance on the corner. The circuit would be virtually perfect as far as the weather and the track is concerned, and should provide the quickest sport that we would see. A bit of a gap developing now by the 2 750s, getting away from John Woodley and Greg Johnson. It's been a 4-man race. There's a lot of other competitors in it. The race, Hansford has gone to 1:14, a good 2.2 seconds off the existing lap record, or the previous lap record. 2.2 seconds lowered by Greg Hansford. I told you that Willing holds the outright lap record at Bathurst, which is no mean feat. If you people have never seen Bathurst, you've seen it on camera. There's Willing. They're not doing this just to show off. It's the supreme power as they go through the gears to lift that wheel. And contrary to what a lot of people think, wheel standing is certain. There's Willing taking the lead. Warren Willing at the position now with about, looking at our board, 11 laps down, 9 laps completed. On the 9th lap, Willing has shown his supremacy, and here's some traffic showing just how these boys have got to get through the traffic. And the shot of the Yamaha discs up front, a pair of them, and a big single disc on the rear end, both lifting the wheels. 1 minute 12.6, Graham, and Willing is absolutely slaying the lap record here. That is 3.6 seconds has been taken off the Sandown lap record. Now, there is a speed table somewhere in the program. If Graham would like to have a look at it, we might even be able to get a speed on this, I'm not sure. But there is, Hansford has dropped it, skated around the bottom corner, he's okay. Here is the slow motion shot of the spill after Greg Hansford was really putting on the effort to try and close. You'll note they sit up. That's at Marlborough Country. Very difficult part of the circuit. They peel off to the left, under brakes, down through the gears. Watching closely, you can see, there he goes. His machine actually, it looked very much as though the back brake may have locked and thrown him away with the bike. But fortunately for Greg, the motorcycle, of course, is a shambles. Greg is okay. It's the bottom end of the circuit with 2 laps to go. That is the very, very tricky S's to the causeway. This has been the scene of a couple of unfortunate accidents during the day, and there is the point score now. The placings are 85, Warren Willing. John Woodley in 2nd place on W. 22, Murray Sale is up to 3rd with less than a lap to go. Number 5, Johnson is back to 4th. In 5th place, we have number 51, Paul Graydon. I mentioned his name in the rundown on points. And in 6th place, Peter Jones, number 18. This indicates that Murray Sale has definitely been given the go quick sign with 1 lap to go. The leaderboard we're looking at is the board on the back of the circuit, which indicates the number of laps to go. That is past the start-finish at the grandstand. There is Willing, however, with very few problems at the moment. He's got no pressure on him. I just can't quite tell you how far behind Murray Sale is, but Willing seems to be fairly set. There's a quick green machine moving down on our left to the Goodyear and the S's. Murray Sale not at this stage to be outdone. In fact, Murray Sale is a lot closer over this closing stage of the race. This is number 22 from New South Wales. Murray Sale has really put in some creditable laps, as no doubt Warren Willing has slowed. Willing will have it in the bag, I would think, but he couldn't possibly have gone to sleep for much longer, because there is Murray Sale as they come up the main straight to finish the 20-lap Australian Unlimited Grand Prix. The winner's time for the 20 laps was given as 24 minutes and 52 seconds. Now, subject to official confirmation, the placings would be 85, Warren Willing, entered by Team Yamaha from New South Wales. In 2nd place would be number 22, Murray Sale, who only came onto the leaderboard. Warren getting a big applause from the crowd. Very popular win. Murray Sale in 2nd place. In the 3rd position, we would have John Woodley from New Zealand, a great performance by the Kiwi on 500 Suzuki. Of course, the 2nd machine was Kawasaki, and 3rd was Suzuki, so they've spread them round. The position for 4th would be number 5, that's Greg Johnson from Victoria on Suzuki. Number 18, Peter Jones, would be the rider in 5th place. And that completes the first 5 placings in the Australian Unlimited Grand Prix for solo motorcycles.
Right there away in the big cloud of smoke. Gricey showing out already. Capri wiggling around a little bit, looking for the run, and sticking on the tail now of the RX3 as they run around Shell Corner. Bob Holden goes a little bit wide, leaves some room for his teammate Arnell, the gentleman driver, Bob Holden. Good big pack of cars funneling down into the very tight Tirana corner, better than a right hand of this corner. We've seen quite a few prangs in this corner. Witness the hay bales there to stop them ploughing straight ahead through the fence and down into the rather deep dam which exists on the other side. A few cars have already been in there. But a good cutthroat dice up the back straight now to Marlborough Country. Laurie Nelson opening up the Capri V6 and taking the lead off Alan Grice. This will be a good scrap as they fight for that. Alan Moffat tried that last time and got a bit for his corner, but Gricey was far enough back on that occasion to miss him. That was Laurie Nelson showing out in the Capri V6. Working hard too. Over the tight and tricky causeway, we've had a couple of pranks already today. Laurie Nelson still working hard. Alan Grice behind him. Very unsettling.
Max 1:28 lap time for Laurie Nelson out in front.
1:28.
1 minute 28.
That's a shade slower than his practice time yesterday of 1:27.1, and a lot slower, of course, than Alan Grice, who's capable of 25s. Right, he's up on the inside. This might be an opportunity as they run into Tirana. Yes, Grice, he's got his nose in front into Tirana corner. Would probably stop a little better than the Capri, and does so, and gets the advantage. Now it's Laurie Nelson's turn to sit in the slipstream and cop the dust and small stones. But the big legs of the Capri V6 might open up a lot better up the back straight. And here we see a neck-and-neck duel up the back straight. A little bit hard to pick just which one's in front when they're coming straight at you, but it looks to me as though the Mazda is slightly in, but now the Capri goes past. Just wound out enough up the back straight to steal the lead back again from Alan Grice. Now Grice down the outside this time in the Goodyear corner, but again Nelson's got the corner covered. Hello. Bit of a spin there from Bob Nissen in the Capri. He's come unstuck, just got it off the track nicely though, inside the curbing. I'm sure he didn't mean to put it there, but it was just as well that he did. Harrison pulling out now the slipstream on McGinley's little Honda Civic. They're a great little car, those Civics. Adrian Taylor I saw run into outright third place. Oh, wobbly in the tail though. Outright third place in the Australian Rally Championship round at Bega a couple of weeks ago, against Datsun 260Z and a Porsche Carrera, would you believe? Third outright little Honda Civic, great little thing. Kenny Harrison stolen that corner away from Max McGinley. Good slipstreaming duel between these two, and that little mint coming up, which I knew who it was. Love to be able to tell you. So we're going to get three in line. Little Crocodile now coming up the back straight. Cheeky little mini, sticks its nose out. In the class. Second and third in the class there. Bill Evans is actually the class wheel in this little one. Here we are. That was a good move. Car 56. Right. Ray Malloy, of course, and the little GT Clubman. Oh, a hard little peddler is Ray Malloy. And completely stole the thing there. 7 laps to go. We've got it according to the board over there. And good little scrap there for second, third, and fourth in the little class. And with Bill Evans in his Datsun pretty well out in front. And we might pick him up a little later. But Ray Malloy has stolen it all from McGinley and Harrison. Now has come off the causeway and under the Dunlop Bridge and head down the straight. Stay in there, Max, for a little while before we can get a bit of the slipstream. He's ranged up alongside Ray Malloy. He's got enough power to do it without the slipstream. Kenny Harrison, here they come, 3 abreast now. There's a good parade down the main straight towards Shell Corner. Looks like Kenny Harrison going to get it too. Yes, he has. Harrison, McGinley, and Malloy. Like Formula V racing, this, Graham. Only got to have a little bit of a sneeze and you've lost a place. A good little scrap. Right, well, with the lap to go, let's have a look at Alan Grice. There he is, twitching and swerving and carrying. Oh, having a ball. Look at him, his beautiful red gloves, weaving from side to side. Really having fun in the little Mazda. That Capri behind, that might be Bob Nissen that spun out before and did all that backing and filling to get out of the little parking lot there. He got himself out. He's out on the track again. With Alan Grice coming down, I think he'll be getting the checkered flag on this occasion. Should be out there waiting for him. There it is. And he's taken honours in the Goodrich Radial Challenge for touring cars under 3 litres. Bob Nissen follows him across the line. Lapped, of course. Laurie Nelson second in the Capri V6. Yes, let's watch how this scrap that we've watched on quite a few occasions, how this finishes up as they come out of the S's over the causeway and under the Dunlop Bridge, and Kenny Harrison's giving it everything, but I think he's just a little bit far behind. Ray Malloy's got it so far in the little Clubman. Max McGinley throwing everything at him in the Honda Civic, but I think Ray Malloy's going to do it. Max McGinley can't do it. He's trying to extract the power. There's the checkered flag for Ray Malloy, and McGinley and Harrison follow him across the line. A big wave for Ray, and I bet he's a very happy boy too. But full honours undoubtedly to the winner, Alan Grice in the Mazda House RX3. And a good scrap to start with, of course, with Laurie Nelson in the Capri V6, but then Grice got the break, and from there on was unchallenged and just ran away and won just as he liked. But the race time there for us, Graham?
21 minutes, 58.6 seconds for Alan Grice. 21 minutes, 58.6.
Right, everything in readiness now. Looks like about 10 or 20 seconds to go, and soon thousands of horsepower are going to unleash themselves. You're looking at 500 to 600 horsepower in each of those. We're all waiting. Colin Bond on the right, Jimmy Richards in the middle, actually on the second row, of course. Pete Gagan alongside Bond on the front row. Alan Moffat tucked in there behind Bond on the inside, on the right-hand side. And boy, here they go. And the car's snaking and weaving. Look at the smoke coming up. Jimmy Richards chopped off there, was hoping to have a run between Bond and Gagan, but it's Bondy leading this time. Moffat looking for the sneaky way up the inside, but not getting it. Bit of a touch there as Jimmy Richards chopped Pete off. Look at Pete. Waggling and waving, Moffat down the inside, looking for the run past Pete Gagan, but can't tell yet whether he's going to get it. And the rest of them all sorting themselves out. And there's Johnny Pollard in the Camaro, funneling through Tirana corner, pouring it up the back straight. Still Bond out in front. Jimmy Richards, Pete Gagan pulled to the outside of Richards and looking for the run up the outside, probably getting it too.
Certainly got that performance you were talking about, Max.
Hasn't it ever? Look at that. Go under the Marlborough sign. Still it's Bond. He's not going to get himself blown off this time if he can help it.
No, Pete's using a few extra spots on the circuit there out in the grass.
Doing it all beachy. Isn't that a beautiful thing, that Monza? I hope it survives this eligibility controversy because it's a good car and Moffat drives it well and it's a good spectacular crowd pleaser.
Yeah, I think basically what Cams have to do is clarify the rules for everyone, because obviously if he can run a car that way, which I guess, if that's fair enough, everyone should be allowed to do the same thing, and that will clarify the whole story for everyone.
Sure. Oh, mind you, if it is illegal, right, fix it.
Yeah, that's right.
But let's not just rub it out.
No, that's dead right.
Bond Gagan still hard at it. I don't know quite what happened between this heat and the other one. 1:11.2 the first flying lap time for Colin Bond.
Here
right, there
goes,
goes Pete. Comes up alongside. It's no up easy. If he gets it, yes, he's in front now. Right, he's going to steal the corner. Bondy's crossed over.
He's got a little bit of smoke there, I think, Max. Just a couple of puffs there.
Pushing out a little bit. Yeah, probably a bit over full.
Yeah.
Pete leading the way through. Good to see him doing well now after 12 months that he has had. Nothing would seem to go right for the Monaro. And we know that Pete can drive it beautifully when it's all going well, but you're inclined to lose heart when it keeps breaking down. Moffat seems to enjoy playing the waiting game. He's not being too desperate here. He's just closing up steadily. You know, he knocked off Jim Richards after a couple of laps. He's closing on Bond now, over the causeway and under the Dunlop Bridge. Probably try and get the run down the main straight, I should think.
I'm quite sure that car is capable. If you look at what you're talking about before, Pete's car weighing 2,500 pounds. Malloy does both the engines, so I assume they would both have the same horsepower, and from what I can see of Moffat's car, it wouldn't weigh anything like the Monaro, so it's obviously got to be potentially better. It's a much smaller car.
That's right.
So you may find, like you're saying, that Moffat's just playing a waiting game and just pick them off one by one.
Well, that's what he appeared to do in the first heat.
Yeah.
Wasn't in any hurry at all to get to the front. But he's in there trying. He's giving good value, that's for sure. Pete's getting away a bit though. He's got probably 40 or 50 metres there as they rush past those two little minis. And they're getting swept aside by the by the rush of air too, I would think.
There's no doubt about it. That circuit's rough over there.
Oh yeah, very wobbly. A lot of money to resurface it though. Moff gets past. Moff goes past Bond as they come over the Dunlop. The Marlborough Hill down into Goodrich corner. It's a tricky sort of a move too, like they're doing about 120, 125 over there, and to take that fairly tricky left-hander and then set up for a right and pass a car at the same time. Hey, Moff's working hard, isn't he?
Touching there.
Oh,
Whoops,
Tony Edmondson unstuck. Yeah, here's the little blue Mini. Oh, that's a nasty spot too. That's where Terry Hook went in the Rothmans 5,000 race. Car 40, the little Mini of Ray Malloy, who did so well in the Goodrich race.
Here it's going to stay there for the rest of the race too.
Yes, then John Pollard in the Camaro. That was a surprise. Fancy John getting out of that little Toyota Corolla that he had, which was a bit of a flyer, mind you, in sports. And there's Moffat gone through on Gagan as they run into Shell corner. Good move there, pulled out of the slipstream. Pete fighting back again though. wonder if these two big ones can slip in side by side in Tirana. Wow. And he just got out of the road in time. Well, as we said, Moffat just bided his time.
Yes.
A few laps to go, 3 laps to go now, and now he's taken the lead, and he'll be seeking to take this one off and make it a clean sweep of the 2 heats today, and put himself well in front in the Sports Sedan Championship. Look at them ducking and bobbing and weaving as they come up. That really is rough, that back straight. Flying down through the S's, tail out for Gagan in the Monaro. He's certainly not giving up. He'll be right on Moffat's tail from now to the finish. Unless he can get past him, of course. Still, Pollard and the Camaro are going to get it right out of the road and let them go through. Bit of a shame that we haven't got Bob Jane running in this race in his Monaro. Don't quite know. I think he's on a business trip to the States, actually.
No, he's actually here, Max. It's interesting. Bob, once again, involved in this controversy.
Look at this side by side,
Yes,
Gagan and
interesting to see when they get
Gagan's got past, I think.
Looks like he's passed from here.
Hard to tell, isn't it?
Not
look,
quite.
The lighter
The
weight of
wrong
the
spot.
Monza. Yep, let him go in deeper under brake.
That's Pete's favourite trick of doing that. He's sort of, he looks all right. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
he's
away again.
got him. Got him. Beautiful, Pete. Now, this will be good to see. 2 laps to go.
You may recall some time ago, Max, when they both had Mustangs, they did the same stunt here. They came down the straight side by side, and
That's
Moffat
right.
passed him down the straight, and Pete took him out of there again.
I'll be going for the inside run. No, dipped out. Bit of traffic up there, I think. No point in trying to get through. Under the Marlborough sign. 1:13 they're lapping out of the moment. That's all that traffic and having to slow down on the causeway. That's a shame. Never mind. Gary Rogers there in the Escort. Put it in the earlier race. Biffed the guard, but fixed it. Jimmy Smith's Camaro there too. Gagan and Moffat. Nose to tail. Funneling in through behind that Charger again. Ooh. Boy. Oops. That's another one. Pollard's Camaro.
I wonder how the risk could be of getting some panels tinted on that little one sitting there. Oops, here
Moffat
we go
again going for the run.
Pete's in a slightly better spot this time, I'm thinking.
Yep. Same as he was before. Holding it tight. Oh, it's a bit further in front though. 1 lap to go. This will be the Killadilla lap. Down to Tirana they go. Gagan in that mighty Monaro. Moffat in his mighty Monza. What a cutthroat duel this has been.
Yes, there's no quarter asked or given, as they say here.
No, I reckon this is the best sports sedan race or field that I've ever seen, and they're turning on the best racing that you could see. As I mentioned before, just unfortunate that Bob Jane isn't here, because he'd have been right in there with them.
Yes, we must talk about that when the races have a Max. It's not pertinent at the moment while all this excitement's on,
No.
obviously, but...
Right, down at a Goodyear corner. Gagan, Moffat right on his tail. Only a few hundred metres to go. Down through the S's they go. Onto the causeway. Still Bond back in 3rd spot. Richards behind him and Harrop behind him again. In behind the Charger again. How close can you go? What a mighty dice this will be down the straight too, but Gagan came flying out over the Dunlop Bridge. Heading on down. Moffat will make the last minute dash, but
Whoops,
he won't make it. No, Gagan got it. Half a car's length, I'd say, from Moffat in the 2nd heat. And
a difference in the size of the cars, Max.
right, that will give Moffat yellow flag out there. Possibly went off in the earlier lap. Anyway, that will give Moffat victory in the round here today, having got 1st in the 1st heat and 2nd in this 2nd heat. That'll give him combined points enough for victory in the overall round. 3rd place would have gone to Colin Bond, and 4th to Jim Richards, 5th to Ron Harrop.
And Pete's retired. He's just stopped up the back straight there, so
Did he?
yeah.
This will be quite dramatic. It'll be like the cars when the flag goes down, away they go. There's a great scream of rubber, lots of smoke. Rob Hinton, but it was Warren Willing who took the jump, and you'll notice that Graham Cosby on that 203 isn't so far behind. It's Willing, Murray Sale and John Woodley as they took the first lap of this 15-lap race here at Sandown for the Hang Ten Cup. This is not a Grand Prix race, it is a feature race to give the opportunity to competitors with this type of machine in the Unlimited class a second ride, because they are not able to qualify for any more than the Unlimited solo race, which was held a little earlier in the day. There's Warren Willing going out very smartly. You may recollect that when Greg Hansford dropped off, that Murray Sale, who was a fair way behind, there's a beautiful picture of Willing in full flight, as they say, down through the S's. And a very immaculate machine, a very immaculate rider. And it's John Warren from Queensland who, no, it's not, it's Paul Graydon on 51 who had to pick it up there for a moment or two. He appeared to have a second thought about that corner and decided not to try and go with Murray Sal. On number 64, it is going through, is Greg Pretty, and in fact he ran second in the production race earlier in the day. Greg Pretty from South Australia. That's a stock standard production machine, and you can obviously see the difference in handling. Handlebars are up where they're supposed to be on a touring machine, whereas these Yamaha, Kawasaki and Suzuki are all factory-bred racing motorcycles. Down under brakes, the front forks closing down. 4 laps to go in this race, which is over scheduled 15 laps. 46.62 kilometres, just under 29 miles is the total distance, and the race is battle still on. Willing on 85. They're coming up to Marlborough country, and believe me, Willing has certainly slowed a little, but it would be interesting to know just how much faster Sale and Woodley have gone. They're within 1 S-bend of each other now at the S's as they come over the top of the circuit from the back down to Dandenong Road. The S's approach then to the causeway. The causeway is the concrete structure across the creek that runs through the drainage from the inside dam in the centre of the circuit. Down over the causeway. Oh, John Woodley getting that back wheel twitching a little. They come around the long left-hander into Dunlop. They are actually hitting top gear about now. They've had to go back again. Notice where they cross the BP start-finish line. Down in the centre. Willing immediately appears to get up to top speed and then immediately has to drop back again to negotiate the corner. You'll notice Sale's machine, the number plate dropping much closer to the wheel. 1:13, so Willing has got the message. They are on his tail, and I'm sure that the times of both Murray Sale and the New Zealander Woodley are probably a lot closer to, probably even better than Ron Term's previous 3-year-old lap record. It's a close race now, Graham. They're really closing up on Willing.
His break's down about 2 and a bit seconds now from 5.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, although you've got to admit that these other two must have been putting in some pretty good laps, because Willing's been forced down to 1:13, which is very close to his previous fastest lap.
Sale in second place probably has gone close to the 1:12.6 lap record.
Yes,
very close to it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is not far off equal best lap for the day, because Murray Sale has really got the big job in front of him, as I mentioned earlier, in the absence of Greg Hansford. You know, it's usually 2 against 1, and he's accepted the challenge remarkably. Sale is leaving his braking. You notice he came up to Shell Corner a lot later than did Willing, and apparently is leaving his braking till the last minute. There they go away from Shell Corner, and our camera there looking from Tirana. 1:12.8, getting very close to his previous best time was Willing. It is quite apparent as Willing having a look back over both sides. You'll note he didn't take the usual line, which is to look over your left shoulder. He's looked over both and realises that Murray Sale is breathing down his neck. Here is a race which is developing in the... Now, Sale put his hand up there. I wonder if something is blown on Kawasaki. He raised his right hand to the rider over his shoulder. Now, this could mean that Murray Sale has extended the Kawasaki beyond its capacity, and we might find that Murray Sale has dropped out. Yes, Willing is on his own. There's a production machine in there. Murray Sale has indicated, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's had a major blow-up in the motor. Climbing the back of the circuit, he was within feet of the back wheel of Warren Willing, and I think the Kawasaki challenge, unfortunately, has gone for this, the second time between the two of them. With 2 laps to go, Warren Willing from New South Wales, Yamaha team, and he looks as though he staved off the opposition from Kawasaki. John Woodley should not be very far behind him. 1:12.2, a new lap record unofficially here for the... there's one of our competitors, number 64, who's just skated off. That's Greg Pretty, you may remember. Greg was second in the production race. He's apparently winded himself, but is Willing on his merry way with the Stars and Stripes. Obviously, Warren is also celebrating American independence, and very colourful machine. He's certainly not disgraced himself this time. A lot of people in Victoria had not had the opportunity of seeing this magnificent young rider. like to call him Mr. Magic, and I'm sure that a lot of people will agree with that. He's the fastest man around Bathurst. He had the first 100-mile-an-hour lap at Bathurst at Easter time. There's a check flag for Warren Willing completing his double. They stand over in the back. We could hear them. Of course, they were cheering madly for Murray Sale, who was making an effort to close on Warren Willing.
So the official placings with the fastest lap, 1:12.2. The winner was Warren Willing. Second was John Woodley, and third would be perhaps number 51, Paul Graydon. And that was the Hang 10 Cup for solo cyclists machines, 200 to 1,000 cc. That's all in this afternoon Sandown 2+4 meeting, and we'll say goodbye to you from Melbourne.